Police in Georgia on the scene of a small plane crash. Authorities there on the scene after a single-engine plane in the middle of the road after it performed an emergency landing on the highway and crashed into multiple vehicles.
It was a bright, blue sky afternoon in Gainesville, Georgia. A gorgeous day filled with sunshine and calm winds. But just after midday, the normal rhythm of traffic at one of the city's busiest intersections was shattered by a sight no one expected to see. This is a story of miraculous survival on Browns Bridge Road. Gainesville traffic, mayday, mayday, mayday. Those were the desperate words of a pilot aboard a single-engine 2010 Beechcraft Hawker G-36. On board were two pilots, one of them a student pilot. Flying completed his final training hours before a solo flight. They had just departed from Gainesville Airport, setting a course for Cherokee County. Records show the aircraft had already traveled from Knoxville to Blountville, Tennessee, earlier that morning. But shortly after this latest takeoff, as it climbed over Lake Lanier, the engine began to fail. Realizing they couldn't make it back to the runway, the pilots faced a life-or-death decision. They scanned the ground for any open stretch that might minimize the damage. In those final seconds of descent, one pilot sent out a heartbreaking message to his family. "We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife Molly I love her and my parents. I love them so much."
We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife Molly I love her and my parents. I love them so much.
Moments later, the aircraft descended toward the intersection of Browns Bridge Road and Pearl Nicks Parkway, a busy area surrounded by shopping centers and restaurants. Witnesses watched in horror as the Beechcraft dropped from the sky, hitting yellow road dividers before crashing hard onto the pavement. The plane struck three vehicles during its emergency landing. The impact was so powerful that one of the plane's fuel tanks was ripped free and slammed into the back of a nearby car. And yet, out of the chaos and wreckage came a miracle. Two people were transported to Northeast Georgia Medical Center, both with only minor injuries. Despite the plane landing in the middle of a crowded roadway at lunchtime, no one was seriously hurt or killed. Police officers who arrived on the scene called it absolutely remarkable. The plane had somehow avoided every power pole and high-tension wire in its path. In the hours that followed, the NTSB and the FAA launched a full investigation to determine what caused the engine failure. Traffic in downtown Gainesville came to a standstill as emergency crews worked to clear the wreckage. For the two pilots on board and the drivers on the ground, this wasn't just another Friday in Georgia. It was the day they walked away from the impossible.